Hi, and welcome to episode 66 of Talking Small Press Comics with Steve Keeter and me, Larned Justin. How you doing, Steve?
If it was 666, you'd all be worried.
Yeah, but it's only 66, so nothing to worry about.
Don't worry about it. You wait till we get to 666.
Well, then,
that's when we're going to
get to
our
666. Yeah, that'll be a good trip.
That'll be in the 22nd century.
Yeah. All right. Okay. What do you? I got this one first. So.
Yeah.
This is a Sunday Jam from Jason DeGroot.
And a lot of other people involved.
Pardon me?
And a lot of other people are involved in this one.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. There's a whole gang of people involved in this. Joe Bagden, I think, put this together, and he did a beautiful job. This is really a neat little book. But it's a jam comic, and I'll show you how Jason started it off. Jason DeGroot started it off. I don't want to give it away, but I will show you how it starts. It starts right there with a boy and his dog. Very simple. Mm-hmm. And then we have in the middle, we have all the artists right here that contributed to the book, including some guy by the name of Steve Keeter.
Yeah, that little devil. There he is.
Right down there, yes.
Right down there.
Yeah.
I'll put that in there.
Right here is Larned Justin with the colored sweater, orange sweater there, and the green scarf.
Yeah. Where am I at?
And all the rest, I can they've got all the rest of them identified, numbered here.
Yeah.
And then if you turn that upside down, it tells you who everybody is. I could read them real quick if I can put on my glasses, so you know who's in there.
But this is, folks, if you haven't guessed, this is a jam comic.
It's a jam comic, so there's a different artist for every page. So you go, we've got Trevor McKee, Ryan Payne, Alan Groening, Terry Wood, Joe Corrales, Ken Bailey, Donald Tenney, Levi Erickson, Nick Durga, Terry Wood, Mark Haynes, Mary Rose Petke, Bob Corby, Ryan Holgerson, Larned Justin, Ryan Howitt, Jason DeGroot, Tony Lawrence, George Blass, Steve Wallet, Kel Crum, Steve Keeter, and Sean Casper. So you got a whole bunch of people in here, and don't want to give too much away, but part of it is in color.
Yeah, Larned's page is in color.
My page is in color there. Steve's is in black and white.
You did that with just colored markers, right?
Yeah, those are markers. Here's Steve's page.
That's my page.
You did a great job on. Very good, Steve. Really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. They had to kind of pull me out of artistic retirement to get me to do that. I haven't drawn anything in a while, but I do need to draw more stuff. So this is inspirational.
Now, I do want you to stay tuned later in the show. I got a special announcement about this, which I'm going to get to a little bit later in the show, so stay with us.
And Jason started this online. This is only the first book. I mean, this was another one behind the scenes. This was going on while you guys were, going to football games and drinking beer. And
we were drawing comics.
We were working on comics.
Yeah.
And it's going to be another issue because this story's far from over.
Oh yeah, he's still going. He has a number of other projects. If you saw his interview with us, he talked about some of his other projects. But Jason DeGroot has all kinds of stuff going on.
Nick Durga does the final page in this book.
How about that?
I wish it would stop, but it didn't stop, and we're darn glad it's going to keep going on. It's a story of a boy and his dog and a demon.
Yeah, a boy and his dog. That's how it started.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a game of telephone. You remember the game of telephone where you whisper to the person next to you the same story? By the time it gets to the end,
And it goes
you
on
have
and
no
on.
idea what the beginning was. Well,
Right.
that's what a jam comic's like.
That's why you have guys like Nick. All of a sudden, the story is deviating further and further and further from the beginning. So somewhere along the line, somebody says, "Stop everything. We're going to start over." It happens, and when you have a long jam comic like that, that's where Nick kind of ended it. But I don't, I don't think it's not really starting over.
That comes with the book. Kind of a nice print there.
Yeah.
That comes with the book, and then on the other side, if you want to draw something, this is what you draw on if you want to. Sketch card.
There you go.
That comes with the book, and a postcard.
Here's
Postcard looks like this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
what I do with my postcard? I think it's on the wall.
Postcard.
I think I've got it on my mirror over there, along with Susie Steen.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
that comes with it. So
Joe Corrales. I'm just saying to flatter him because I know he's watching. So Joe, we put you in our show.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah.
So
we don't, like I say, you don't want to give away too much because it is a jam comic, and you really need to see it all in sequence. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a wild story. It's really wild.
Yeah.
Floyd Sumner has a beautiful page in here. And he's one of the most prolific. He did an interview with me recently, so I'll show his page too. Floyd Sumner.
Oh, yeah.
Floyd, as long as you keep promoting me, I'm going to keep promoting you. But if you stop, done, man, it's done. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. But but this is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great book. Great. A lot of fun. See what people came up with. Yeah.
It's amazing how it came together so fast. Jason just had this idea, and he did like 4 panels. And
he didn't think anybody would do anything.
He thought it'd be a mild response, a few people, but
it had a year's worth of people.
It exploded. It exploded. And everybody wants to be involved in this.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that next issue.
So anyway, that's pretty neat. Okay, what do you got next? You got one?
I got all kinds of stuff here. How about Horseman?
Okay, I had that up next. Horseman by Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson. And this is issue, what, 5? 6? Issue 6.
This is number 6. This is $6.50. Oh, I forgot to mention the price on the Jam comic was $5.
$5,
Jam comic's $5. Yeah. This one's $6. This is a full-size comic book.
Horseman is a wild, bizarre dream. The whole thing is a big dream.
Mostly art. There's no words.
Never any dialogue in Horseman.
Yeah.
But the artwork is Larry Johnson. Some of the finest artwork, really, that Larry has done in the 50 years that I've known him. He's really
all kinds of beautiful artwork. That's what it is. I'm not sure I understand the Horseman, but anyway, I think he talks about it though.
This one is pretty weird. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, they're all kind of weird.
He does in the beginning talk about it.
The flowering part of a plant or tree that will form the seeds or fruit is called a blossom. These seeds carry on their life cycle. One would think that this process stays within a plant's own species, but Larry had this idea: what if more than one species could be integrated during this life cycle, this reproduction cycle? And so Horseman is wandering out, and he meets this flowery creature, this blossoming with a big eye, and somehow, well, I don't know. There's some pollination going on here without anything graphic or weird. Yeah.
Oh well. I was thinking, the Horseman, he came about kind of the same way, I do believe. Yeah. I was wondering, I think he was fortunate. It could have been the other end of the horse that he got Fortunately, you got the head.
She pollinated him somehow, and you see these little tiny horse guys popping out of his skin.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like totally over the top imagination. You know, there was all kinds of people who could, anybody, I mean, look, even here, I mean, there's a sexual element, but it's not pornographic or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you have the flower, the woman, the flowery female, and you see where the eyes are.
I was going to say her eyes are in rather a strange place, but
an unusual place. But she's smiling. She's got, you know, she's happy, and there you go. She's unleashing this pollen.
Right.
And so then Horseman starts to reproduce in a totally wild and unexpected way.
Yep.
So this is
somehow it winds up a bunch of fish on the back page.
All kinds of stuff happens because it's all so stream of consciousness.
Yeah, it's a dream. I think it's a dream.
I can tell you, I've never read another story quite like this.
Well, you don't read it; you just look at it.
Yeah,
you can't read it.
And Larry keeps pushing the limits, pushing the bounds, and creating great comics, going boldly where no one has gone before. And that's what he does, and he does it in a tasteful manner. There's nothing, as I say, you know, there's nothing offensive or adults only or anything like that. It's really greatly imaginative work. He's just a great talent.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some of the best in small press? He's right there at the top. Larry, you owe me $10 for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
So,
okay, what do you got? What do we got next here?
Well, we're steadily moving towards Michael Leisenfeld. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Michael Leisenfeld, I think, is next. And this takes some explaining. This takes some splaining. This is a group that he belongs to called a Comix Accountability Club. And this is rites, rituals, and ceremonies. This is their book that they put out, I suppose, I'm guessing annually, you know, they put a book out because it's a Discord group that he belongs to.
I mean, clearly a ton of work went into this, so it must have taken quite a while.
A lot of work in here. And of course, Micah has a part in here. We want to show Micah's because he has a piece in here. This is a little unusual from what we just did, but Micah has one where a guy is a part of a horse.
Oh yeah, that's a great story. That's a great story. That was like probably my favorite in the issue because it has some irony in there as a twist. Yeah, that's Michael Leisenfeld's contribution. I think. Let me see here. It's quite a few. It's a couple of 3 pages, you know. There. He sent us a note right here. Well, yeah, we're going to read from that note because it tells you quite a bit. So page 79, because this is a big volume. This is a big book. He sees. This is 100 pages. Yep. Yeah, and page 79 is Micah strip, but you go past a lot of wildly wonderful work, and there it is, Star-Crossed Love. With inks and colors, or by Mike Leisenfeld, inks and colors by Kathy Deloria. But there's all of the members contribute something, you know, to the book. This guy's a centaur. This guy's a centaur, right? That's what it's called, a centaur, right? Yeah, minotaur with the bull thing, centaur. In any case, he's half horse and half man. Yeah, and he's talking to this guy who's like sort of a demon. This is where the irony comes in, but we're not going to tell you the ending. But I can just tell you, it's a stunner. He wants to be made human, completely human, so He almost demands it. And so they go through this process, and look at this artwork. It's really nice. I love the coloring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So something does happen. There is a change, but he wants to be made a human for a reason. And you find out at the end what the reason is, and it's kind of sad actually, because sometimes you get what you ask for. Sometimes when you get what you ask for, it's not what you really need.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
here's an insert that came with the book. Look at this. This is an insert. You get with the book.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? Look at that. Yeah. You could actually frame that.
I got a couple of copies of this insert.
I thought that was pretty neat. And let me see.
Yeah, I'm not sure who did that, but there are a lot of artists involved in this.
Yeah. It just it doesn't. This particular thing doesn't have the artist's name on it, but it's from. It is included in the book, a 100-page book, and there's a bunch of artists that contribute to it. Part of it's color, part of it's black and white. There's all kinds of stuff in here.
You can see the quality of the printing, and the quality of the artwork. The front covers by Michael Leisenfeld.
Yeah,
I showed that earlier. The back cover by Graham McCarthy.
Yeah, simple back cover, very simple.
But all the artists in between, he doesn't actually list them in the front, but he does list them as you go along. You see, art and story by A.I. Miller, colors by Felipa Estrella. And this is another nice one here.
Yeah. And then you have things like this.
Sorry about the glare from the light there.
Line artwork in here. All that kind of thing.
There's some really scary stuff too in here. Just some scary art by Don Monette. Written by Patrick Hayes, Cyber Resurrection.
Now, I think
really scary, sort of a demonic story.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. Now, I believe this one, Micah says, is $20. And I'll put how you get it, how you can buy one. He sent us a sheet that has all that kind of information on it. Yeah. It's from Micah. So I will put that info in the description for these books. There's a couple other books included here we're going to show you.
There's a really strange story with some really weird artwork by a guy named Jack London, The Roman Spring of Jack London. Actually, it's I'm not sure who wrote it. Jack London might be a character in the story, but this is some wild.
Yeah, that's the line I was looking at. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that the same guy that did that other? It's just woo. It's kind of hard to make out, but it's you have to concentrate on each and every panel, and it has to deal with weird aliens and the way they react to each other. So it's just strange.
Yeah. And here's one. I want what the dead have.
Yeah, even these, and even the weird aliens. Let's see, where's that panel? Right here. Even like weird aliens seem to fall in love.
Yeah. Well, you get all kinds of stuff in here, Every kind of artwork you can imagine.
Yeah.
Some simple, some complicated. There's things like this. Fairly simple.
Well, man. There's one that deals with kitty cats and fairy-like creatures. How do cats that have spots, how do they get their spots? And so you find out in this story. Like fairy people floating around with little paintbrushes. Neat stuff.
Yeah.
And
grayscale work here.
That's one of the fairy people there. Yeah, grayscale there.
Yeah. So you get a little bit of everything in here. And like I say, it's 100 pages for $20. And I will, like I said, tell you how to get it. And then there's a couple other comics that he sent.
Right.
Let's see. This is one. Exotic Man. Is that how you would say that?
I don't know. It looks like exotic there. I mean, it's obvious. I think he's like Comix Man, but I guess it's Exotic Man.
Exotic Man.
And it's the stories of a. Ooh, there's some nice artwork here. Look at this. What is this? Not hiring. Looks like our hero here is in a drive-through at a restaurant, and there's a sign that says "not hiring," and they're handing him something. Maybe he got fired. I don't know what it is, but it's a nice illo.
This is Micah's story in here. He has a story in here.
Yeah. Comix Man.
They're all about Exotic Man. All the stories are about Exotic Man in this book.
Exotic Man.
Yeah. And here's Micah's work. Exotic Man. Yeah. This is. I don't want to give this away. This is a pretty good story. I like this. It's about dogs and stuff, but
yeah,
I like it. Very cool. I don't want to give it away though.
There's a bad word or two in here, and
yes, there is, and that's kind of the basis of his story. And you can't say these bad words in a comic book.
Talking to Phantom Lass. Why are you here? Where am I at?
Yeah.
Right here. Why are you here? And she says, I'm here because I enjoy being tied up. I'm here because I enjoy being tied up. She literally says that. Anyway, this has something to do with drinking Coors Light and strange dreams.
And saying, putting bad words in a comic book is not, you get in big trouble in this story for doing that.
Yeah, that's it.
The word penis is in the story.
Oh, that word? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're in big trouble for saying, for doing it. You can't.
There's another word or two that's even worse.
Or you will go to jail if you do that. You see there.
But I guess, this was also created, you think, by that same club?
No, this, I think, let me look at his notes, and he'll explain it. Give me a second to look at this.
Some pretty cool stuff in color here.
Exotic Man, founded in 2022. I think it's a Discord also.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a club, and they keep referring to this Exotic BUK, which is Exotic Book.
Well, that's how he got his powers.
Yeah, they refer to that a lot.
I think he read an Exotic book and got his powers.
Yeah.
The first thing he noticed was that he had X-ray vision, which he used to his advantage, and but you can see the burning eyes there. And then he developed other characters, and the stories in here are like 3 pages long, 3 or 4 pages. Or
this one, Micah says this is $10, and I'll have the info on how to get it. There's all kinds of different styles of artwork in here, from things like this.
Yeah.
With, limited word bubbles, but
That's one reason why it's interesting to check it out.
Yeah.
The different artists involved, and everybody has their own take on this character.
Right.
Nice back cover here.
But they're all Exotic Man Stories.
Yeah, and it's got
And it's got
beautiful
some,
quality reproduction, thick cover, some thick stock for this cover, thick
Right.
glossy stock.
got some info in here about it. It will explain things to you when you get the issue.
Yeah, comic book.
Very nice. Look at that on the back. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says, and here's another. The characters displayed in all kinds of different ways. This is particularly was rather decadent. You know, it shows a bum in an alleyway, and it looks like Exotic Man, but he's down on his luck. This picture. I don't think there's not really a story exactly like that in the issue. Yeah, but there you go. That looks almost
see, this is more of a superhero look to the Exotic Man.
Or like a John Buscema, Sal Buscema, almost looks like a Sal Buscema Hulk there to the very left. But you know, that looks like influenced by Kirby and Buscema.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
all through, like you said, there's such a variety of styles here, and you don't know what you're going to get. And some of them are, well, none of them are all that serious, but they're all. Through it all, he remains a defender of the people.
Yep.
We have the proof here. He's lifting something off of someone, and and that's Exotic Man.
Yeah, and you get all the artists that are in here. They do it in their style, and they're all very different. So it's pretty neat. Anyway, that one's $10.
I enjoyed this one.
And then there's one more, and this is based on, if I get this right, video games. These are proposed video games.
Uh-huh.
And this is how do you say that?
It's the word comics backwards.
It's comic, yeah. Comic
backwards.
Backwards? Oh, on the back it is, but on the front. The front is this one.
Comix.
Comix. I don't know how to say it.
I'm not sure.
But it is right here. It has the table of contents, but they're like games. Every story is like a game.
Yeah. And it's a flip book, too.
It's a flip book, yeah.
The cover here.
And let me just show you Micah's artwork. Our friend Micah is right here.
Yeah, and here the title is reversed.
Yeah.
Comix is reversed here because it's on the back cover. Yeah, Mike.
Right here. It's actually right here with the. Well, that's Kevin. That's Micah's friend Kevin.
So
but this one, wrong guy. This one is Micah.
This is Micah right here, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it. This one. Is that Micah? No, one more page. This is Micah. You can tell that if you looked at his artwork before, that's him.
This isn't Micah what I'm holding?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Micah.
Yeah,
so,
it's
yeah. This is yeah. I think this is Micah here. I mean, he's got a little. He put a little tab here.
That's Kevin, I think.
Micah and Kevin. It says Micah and.
Oh, maybe use
this
a different
somebody
color.
named Steven. Someone
Mine,
named Steven.
That one says Kevin. My blue tab.
Yeah, mine says that on the back.
Oh.
Kevin.
Okay.
And then, wait a minute. And then on the. Oh, I thought it said Micah. What did I do? What happened? I thought I had a picture that said Micah. That's Kevin. That's not
Kevin.
Micah, folks. My apologies.
Yeah.
Apologies, Micah. Oh, you're in here somewhere.
Right here. This is Micah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's nice, spacey looking stuff.
Yeah.
Is that,
And it's just these 2 pages, I believe. This is somebody else. Yeah, I think he just did these 2 pages. That's my.
Yeah, that's this. I do have a mica tab after all.
Yeah.
I had a long day, folks. Forgive me.
That's all right.
I'm a little blurry, but there we go. Nice layout. You see the way he laid out the panels, and it's all spacey and atmospheric. Very nice.
There's all kinds of, once again, different kinds of games. And you know what's cool? You got some pages in here, and they say the game is loading.
Right, the game is loading. Yeah. And
and this one,
Larned plays more computer games and stuff than I do, because I play none, 0. But I'm way behind. I used to play Miss Pac-Man. That was a long time ago. Larned's totally advanced on that, and I'm not.
Yeah, that game there with look at the dragon. That
loading. Yeah.
Anyway, very different. Who comes up with that? That's a great idea, to come up with all these video games. And
because this one really does look like a video game. Dog Detective, this one.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I wonder who did that one too. Because there's so many of these artists, and they're all in that collectors club. This one, I keep seeing this artist over and over, Kyle Koreski. He does rather supernatural stuff, and I see this character in a couple of different stories among the several books that we've put together here, 2 or 3 stories. But this is apparently a continuing character, and it has to do with a witch. Supernatural theme, witches and that sort of thing. But indie horror game dev simulator it says here.
Developer.
Based on Lovecraft works, the Necronomicon, Lovecraft, the Lovecraft, those horror supernatural stories that H.P. Lovecraft wrote.
This is $10, by the way. So that, again, the info will be in the description on how to get that.
And it says here, this game is not haunted and was not made by mutant penguins. Go read the Necronomicon. So right there, there's a download button down here.
Yeah.
So if you've never read Lovecraft, the Necronomicon is a
I remember the
supernatural book with all kinds of magic and spells and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just throughout his stories, and I don't think H.P. Lovecraft ever thought his stuff would survive this long. Here it is, like 100 years later, and we're still talking about Lovecraft. So that influence continues. Yep.
More artwork from the book. And very, very different.
I keep flipping it over and over and over.
I know,
maybe it's over here. It's a flip book.
Yeah.
Yep.
And down here, like, you have a delete key on the bottom and a save key. Don't accidentally hit the delete key, or you lose everything.
No, you don't want to do it. It might delete the whole comic.
It's gone.
That's it, man. I have to contact Michael. Mike, I
hit the delete key by accident.
No, sorry, man. Can you send me another one?
Okay.
We're getting to the grand finale here, unless you.
Oh yeah. The grand finale for us is always the same.
Yep.
It is
the great, inimitable.
Pull up 29. You ready?
29. Number 29. I got 29 right here.
Here we go. Cranium Frenzy 29. I'm
going to cheat. I'm going to give you a little glimpse of the cover of Cranium Frenzy number 30, because this is something I never noticed before.
Okay.
If you just go with CRA, take out Neum Friends, and just CRI and ZY.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Darn,
Read it to
this is
Steve
something
Willis.
subliminal that Steve's been trying to tell us all this time, and nobody picked up on it.
Well, I knew he was crazy, but
Oh,
this is the first time I actually
it's not
saw
crazy,
it.
but his comics are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to Cranium Frenzy 29.
Oh my gosh.
Cranium Frenzy 29.
Number 29. Okay, number 29 is special.
This is
I have
a
a story.
lunchtime for Ahab,
That's
which
it.
I thought was pretty interesting. This is lunch. This is his cat, Ahab.
Mm-hmm.
So notice that he's going for earplugs here. All he's going to do is feed the cat, but he's going to reach for earplugs. Now, why would that be? Well, he's over here, he's feeding them and everything, and then here comes a guy. See the guy coming in, and he starts singing. Brave and faithful Ahab. Well, you turn the page.
Brave and faithful is he. Brave and faithful Ahab.
He's still singing, but now he's got a bunch of people singing. It's getting louder.
These other people come out of nowhere.
Yeah, where'd they come from?
And this guy's over calmly feeding the cat.
Yeah. And then down here, there's a lot more people. And down here is the tabernacle, the choir.
The Mormon Tabernacle
Choir is singing while he's feeding the cat. And the cat on the next page burps.
Right.
Burp. And then he pulls the earplugs out and he goes back to what he was doing.
It's like he's used to this. He's been through this many times before, so he's blasé about it.
Every
Okay,
time he's the cat. That's what's going to happen.
Do that. Go have a seat. But
yeah,
there's more to this story.
Yes.
Well, okay, that part ends there, but there's a lot
that's the end of that. And next we have a dose of DOS. So a dose of twos. Everything here is twos, like dice, those dice.
Yep.
A pair of dice in paradise.
Right.
You see that?
Pair
of dice in paradise. Then we have over here a pair of dimes, paradigms. 4 nickels, 20 pennies. Those are paradigms.
Yeah. Steve Willis, what can you say when you talk about creative genius?
Oh my God.
What he does, the wordplay, and also the cartooning, and the zaniness, and he
pair of parables.
Yeah.
So he's reading
there's no limits. There's no limits to the greatness that Steve comes up with. That's what I'm saying. He just never stops. And you think by now, because where are we? I mean, in his numbering sequence, we're up in the thousands, of things that he's created. He hasn't run out of ideas.
Pair of fins.
Yep.
Keep your distance with that cigarette. Paraffin. And
pair of souls. That would be a pair of sons. SOLS. Parasol.
Yeah.
Parasol.
And we have 2 Oregons, a paragon. See, 2 Oregons, 2 maps of Oregon. They are paragons.
Paragon.
Yeah.
Paragon. But the next story is a real knockout. And it says, a story I just knocked out.
Oh, looks like fighting. This will be interesting.
Yeah, this is about a boxer. And in the future, the scientific powers that be come up with a robotic humanoid that's so human that it can actually fight in the ring with a fighter, and it learns as it goes. So it picks up And so, but the thing is, these androids are so good, they end up knocking out all their opponents, all their human opponents. And here you see, but this guy is going to face off against this android.
Right.
This humanoid. You got it there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so they're in the ring, and
Right
he knows
here.
that the android it looks for patterns. It looks for patterns in your movement, so it imitates those, and it knows how to overcome those. So he starts doing things like spinning around like Curly Howard,
dodging around and all that,
dodging around, acting like Groucho Marx, and confusing the robot.
Right.
And he actually gets his chance.
He bops him for him.
He bops him right there in the head, and then he realizes the more he's fighting, and the robot stops. And it holds still, like it's studying him. But he's doing irrational things, and the robot can't deal with irrationalities.
Right.
It's looking for a pattern. So I'm going to skip through this a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it comes to the point where he does actually knock the... something happens.
Well,
there's a secret weapon.
This panel, I believe he knocked the head off of the robot.
His daughter, his youngest daughter, was a computer whiz, and she figured out how she could infect this humanoid with a serious virus. There he is, his youngest daughter. So what she did was she put a QR code on his hand that would if the android focuses on that, it does something. It just messes up his wiring.
Yeah.
So the head goes up in the air.
But
the best part is,
off the thing.
while the crowd is clapping madly and screaming and happy, he starts singing. And do you know what he sings?
I don't know what.
I haven't seen my underpants in weeks. Oh, I haven't seen my underpants in weeks. I haven't seen my underpants. I haven't seen my underpants. I haven't seen my underpants in weeks.
This is one of Steve's famous songs. And then his head explodes. The American flag comes out, and fireworks.
Wild cheers. The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes mad.
But
it's like real boxing. It's the same thing. You see real boxing. This is the same thing.
Well, Steve Willis has been using that underpants song for a long time. Larned, you first told me about it. Check this out, and we sang it before on the show. It was truly a monumental moment in musical history. It's really, we could have won a Grammy. We could have won a Grammy for that.
I think so.
Yeah. But you never know when it's going to pop up again. And apparently that's something from his kid he used to sing when he was a kid.
Here, let's eat at the Spontaneous Human Combustion Cafe.
Uh-oh. Spontaneous human combustion, folks.
Yeah. So this guy's eating at the counter there. And poof. Or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Foom. I think it said foom.
Yeah. And you see the fire burning.
Flame goes up right next to him. Spontaneous. Now, the owner comes over with a fire extinguisher and there's a guy there, puts that guy out.
Yeah. He looks like a charcoal.
Foom. The guy that just came in the cafe, he goes up in flames, I guess, in the bottom panel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to go to that cafe. I wouldn't recommend it,
Right.
We got Morty the dog on the back cover.
Yes, we do.
I missed the Buttercube cover, brothers. They didn't show up this time.
No, the Buttercube brothers are not in this.
Maybe they'll show up when we least expect it. But it's good to see Morty.
They may have something to say about this in the I don't know if they're in the next issue or not. But.
This guy's ranting about something down here. Anyway, this is the crazed genius of Steve Willis.
a madman, but a very funny madman.
Hilarious
Let's
madman.
look at the next one. We've got another one here.
Here we
go.
Crazy. Number 30, yeah.
And let's see here. Oh, this is where the guy is rolling dice.
Rolling dice. And there's this penguin character that pops up once in a while. It looks like a penguin. Something zany about penguins. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, he uses a lot of penguins. He could come in the story quite a bit.
So this guy keeps rolling the dice.
If we read it for you, that'll ruin it.
Yeah, he keeps getting sevens and stuff. One thing he said, okay, like the penguin says, okay, sometimes stuff just happens. And the guy with the dice, hey, does it? Hey, 7 again. He says, yeah, it's just out of nowhere. He says, why? And he says, it's just out of nowhere. And the guy answers, really? And then he says, why do you answer with only questions? And he says, do I?
What?
He keeps answering his questions with questions. So it's do I? So that's pretty weird and wild. And Steve goes on. The next story is the name of the game of the name. The game of the name. And here we go again. Steve Willis loves wordplay.
Wordplay, yeah. And
he loves to do stuff with words. Name of the game. What does that sound? Tom. Oh, this one. It goes on. It's like part 2 of.
They continue on.
Yeah, it's a continuation. He says, the penguin says, you see, randomness is the name of the game. He says, more like the game of the name, I'd say. That's a great title. A great title. Why don't you use it? I have to go back up here. All right, I'll jumble up the names of readers from the Cranium Frenzy distribution list and create a story incorporating these random words. So he does that. So, and it's a funny story, of course, but he's using people's names.
Yeah.
Like he underlines them.
Like here he's got Usher, and he's saying,
something.
I usher in a new age of laundry technique. Right there.
And what was I thinking when I took you in as my foster penguin? Foster obviously being someone's name.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm just going to bob around in the tub for a bit. So
time to chuck all and let the fowl have the place.
Yeah, so and I was looking here because I was saying, I was looking for Larned in here, but I didn't find
nobody. Yeah,
he hasn't got around to us yet.
Better than I thought he was.
There's a guy who in the end becomes a Tyrannosaurus Rex because his name is Rex. So that was amusing. And then, a story based on random anadromes. I had to look up anadromes. I didn't know what an anadrome was.
Anadrome ball.
An anadrome, I looked it up, is a name spelled backwards.
Yeah,
a word spelled backwards.
First one is
different.
Yeah, the first one is when I pull the lever, you can reveal.
You can revel.
Revel. Yeah. Oh, you can revel. Yeah.
You can revel. Revel is lever play.
Backwards. Yeah.
Spelled backwards.
If I could read, I would know that.
He's got Napoleon down here.
Mm-hmm.
I relive, but I'm not eviler. Eviler is relive spelled backwards. Yeah. So you can just see Steve sitting around going, yeah, what is this word spelled backwards? But he would have to do it to come up with a story. He would have to be doing this for a long time, and you wonder what Steve does.
It goes all the way back here. It keeps on going.
Yeah.
It goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Somehow Oscar felt a tug at his gut, then realized his straw his straw, where is he? Right here. His straw had warts. Straw spelled backwards is warts. So this straw has warts. That would be a startling surprise in your soda or whatever. Yeah. Oh, but you know what? I can fix that. I can fix that. I just by coincidence, I happen to have a liquid wart remover here.
Okay.
Check this out. If your straw has warts, you can put this on there. You know, I just was like, I ordered this recently because I had a little wart right here on the end of my finger. You put this stuff on there, and you do it for like a couple weeks, the wart goes away. I had to put that in the video for two reasons. One, it's kind of funny, and two, people are going to look at this and say, Steve is really strange. And that's true, and it's okay. I've come to terms with it.
Apparently, everybody named Steve is strange.
Yeah,
it's I think we proved it with Steve Willis once again.
Yeah, and that was an inspiration that I realized that was just sitting there. I didn't plan that.
Now, if you'd like a Steve Willis comic book, which you should, just send him some stamps, or you can trade him your comic, and he will send you his comic.
And you get insane madness like this. You don't have to read the story, just the pictures. But reading the story, it makes it 3 times funnier.
Yeah. Yeah. If you read them all, then there's no reason to buy the book. So I don't.
Yeah, we can't tell you everything.
Of course, he always sends Morty comics. There's a Morty comic. These are original drawings. I'm the only one that has this. And the cover of this one says, you understand what you are about to see must remain secret. Right there. Now, on page 2, there's no connection to page 1. It's just, my work here is finished. It's just a drawing.
I have my little Morty. Oh, yeah, I got some.
Here's one with no caption at all.
Yeah, some of them are just strange, odd pictures.
Yeah. And on the back, it says, allow me to provide a guided tour through the land of boredom. So if you ever want to be bored, follow this guy.
As far as the shipment of rutabaga sandwich spread, well, that information is classified. What? What? Just a strange, bizarre stuff. What about me? This guy says. Well, his head seems to end below his eyes. There's nothing else up there, so maybe no brain, no cranium on this guy, just eyebrows. So yeah, Steve, you're a twisted genius.
Yeah.
And we love you, and we appreciate you sending us your books, folks. You got to get some. It's trade only, right? Steve only. What was it? Stan was not the genius he was made out to be. For you see, he was in reality a stand-shaped covering for a bunch of elves.
There you go.
Oh, there they are.
There they are.
Okay. Just normal stuff, like you see every day,
Right.
But I got to tell you, there's no one.
Nobody like
demented talent than Steve Willis out there.
Yeah.
Just no one. An absolute class act. So we appreciate so much you sending us your stuff. People check him out. But as I said, he only takes trays, right? He doesn't. You can't order.
No.
Except
you can send him some postage that he can use, or you can send him your comic, and he'll trade you. But you can't buy them. There's no price. They're priceless.
They are priceless.
There you go.
Absolutely. That came to my mind as well. As soon as you said that, I'm thinking, priceless books, priceless works. Okay.
So I said I had an announcement. I better do that before I forget. So this book, I accidentally wound up, long story, with 2 of these. I have 2 of them. due to my mail is screwed up badly. So what I thought was, if you are the first person to post a comment on this video, I will send you this. I will send you the Sunday Jam if you are the first person to post a comment on this video. So there, how about that?
Right. There you go. If you don't have it, you need to get it. I mean, this is
right. This is a way to get it free. Don't have to pay the $5. I will just send it to you.
Absolute masterpiece in the career of Jason DeGroot, which goes back quite a while.
Yeah.
He was the chairman of the UFO once, even.
Yeah.
This was probably his
more projects
maybe his greatest achievement. Maybe not, but the way he pulled all these small presses together, that's really something. And definitely, I don't think he ever thought it would be such a success, but it is.
I don't think so either, but it is.
It's like a Tramp thing comes alive. Yeah, back in the 70s, everyone needs to have this.
Yeah.
Have that album. If you're younger, you won't get the joke. But Michael Jackson's Thriller. This is the Michael Jackson Thriller of today.
You think so, huh? Okay.
Everybody will have a copy of this. Sure. So.
Oh. Well, I think we have done it, haven't we? I think that's everything. That's everything I have.
You know, I had a long, hard day at work. I've been, whining towards Larned that I'm supposed to be retired, but they keep calling me into work. It's only temporarily, but this temporary is lasting too long, and I want some days off. I got a lot to do. So I was really tired when I got home tonight. I'm thinking, how am I gonna do this video? But once you start talking, once the camera goes on, and once you start talking about comics, I mean, the energy just comes. It happens. It's always this way. It's really funny, But when you're talking about something you really love and really enjoy, it gives you that energy.
Yeah.
So, and I've loved comics all my life, and small press comics almost all my lives.
Yeah.
Well, I discovered them when I was in my mid-teens. So, enough of that.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think I have to. This is my dog. And I think I might have to take her out here pretty soon. So
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna clean up a mess in the living room.
That's the option. You can either take her out or clean up the mess. I'd rather take her out myself.
And I met Zoe. Zoe's a poodle, a noodle. What'd you say? A noodle?
Yeah, she's a golden doodle. A
doodle
poodle and a retriever. A golden retriever and a poodle.
And a poodle mixed. She's a cute dog. She should be in the next video for sure.
Well, that would be a good trick. If I could ever do that, I would do it. But as soon as you do that, point the camera or something, she'll run away. So it's hard to do.
Okay. I'll be quiet. I keep going on and on. I was like, don't you?
Yeah, you got to go to work. So
that crazy. I
guess you're working tomorrow, aren't you? You're working tomorrow?
I'm working this whole week, but I'm behind on the new UFO newsletter, and after this, I got to buckle down big time on that. So not only am I working a lot of hours this week, but I got to get that newsletter. I owe it to the people, man.
Well, if you want to see your comics on here, we've just exhausted all the comics we have right now. So if you want to see your comic, you're going to have to send me one and Steve one. And by the way, before I forget, I've always wanted to do something to give something back to the creators. And what I did was, there's a little store by me that sells antique games and toys, not antique, but collectibles. And I went in and talked to the owner, and I showed him small press comics, which he had never heard of. And I showed him what I had and everything, and I said, would you be interested in carrying these? I know you don't carry comics, but would you be? He said, I'd love to. He said, you bring them in, and I will carry them. So I did, and that was last June. Up until this past week, not one comic has ever sold out of there. But, and this is what the display looks like. I've changed this display a number of times. This was the first one I did. But last week, he sold one comic from John Mueller, Uncanny Action, numbers 1 through 4.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
John Mueller is on his way to being a millionaire. He has sold one comic.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
The owner gets half the cover price. John Mueller gets the other half of the comic price. I sent him his $1, and all he's got to do is save that $1 towards his first million. So, you never know. Yours might sell. So, we don't have any, like I started to say, we don't have any comics right now. If you'd like to send us your comics, we will get them on this show, and we will get them in the store. So, that's all I have.
I do have other comics, but that's those are UFO zines, and they'll be reviewed in the new UFO newsletter once I get it out in the next week or two.
Okay, good.
That's UFO stuff. I just have to plug, the group. I'm the chairman.
All right. We will see you in the next episode. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when we have another episode coming up. All right. Good night.
Good night. Adios.